Good evening, everybody, from the parts unknown, from different locations. This is Clem and Claw Show, the abbreviated version. As everybody knows, second, fourth Mondays of free, second of every month. Good Lord, I can't speak. 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 8:30 p.m. Central Time, 6:30 on the West Coast. As you can see, I'm in a different location. I'm in Texas visiting my peoples, so there's that. Other than that, not much to be seen today.
Yes, and I came back from a fabulous vacation in New York City. Got to see the sights and sounds. Got to do some sightseeing. Got to do some dancing. I love dancing in New York City. It's beautiful. This time of year, there's so many outdoor festivals, so many things opening up because of with everybody being stuck in the house for so long. So
Yep.
that was beautiful. So it's been beautiful to see. So it was exciting. Yeah, man, I got to see some sights and sounds and visit some good people, and it was great.
So yeah, without further ado, I'm here visiting. I plan on seeing some sightseeing of Dallas, Texas, state of Texas, eventually before I leave here for a couple about here for another couple of weeks. So had a long vacation. I
Just
got
don't
blessed,
tell anybody you're an Oklahoma fan. They may not let you cross the state line to get back.
dude. I'm being smart. I'm not saying that. I am smart. I'm not. I'm smart enough to not say that. I'll never hear the end of it in this state. Anyways, as long as I don't go to Austin, I'll be all right. I'll be all right. With that being said, a couple of things happening. Let's get with it. Get with it. We already talked about it off the air, but I'll talk it to the fans because I know y'all want to ask us what became of these our two famous cat fighters. They're both retiring. Let's be serious. One is injured. Y'all already know who it is, and the other one, you already know what it is. We ain't gonna go into details. I'll leave it at that. So it's
Mm.
official. It's official according to both their husbands, Chris, which is Sexy White's husband, and the other one, Adam, which is Lyric's one. So for all the people who are asking on Twitter what the heck is happening to them, they're gone.
So now I guess so. Do they now move into when we start talking about our all-time cat fighters? Well, do they move into the emerita status where
Yep.
yeah. So they don't
Yes.
all depart at a great age.
To truth be told, people, we haven't had time to do any of that because there's absolutely been nothing going on until the last 2 weeks. That is.
Right. There's been so much going back and forth, and people making fights and all kind of stuff. So it's just been a lot going on. So we may have to reassess the landscape at least in time for before fall kickoff, before the summer's out.
We will. We will. I'm not even plussed about it. But anyways, before the last sorry, the before we got on, there was a cat fight that happened. Mexican cat fight again. Pictures are out. The pictures were out. I know that it was Valentina, which was Rodolfo's wife, was in action this weekend, plural. I think she was fighting a new lady named Liza, and the other one was two new girls. I think Alex Alix, and the other one's Chamel. I hope I'm saying her name right. I think she spelled her name Chamel. Anyways, from what I know of Twitter, he said both these fights were good. One went the distance. The first one went the distance. The second one was actually cut short because one of the fighters couldn't continue. These things happen in the fight world, people. These things happen in the fight world. My man said he was tired. This was yesterday. He put a post out there. He said I was literally destroyed. His words. I was destroyed. I took it as I am drained.
I would say there comes a point where it's not that it's not worth it doing anymore. You just dread how you're going to feel afterwards.
Mm.
When you just do so much, like it can be so much to put in that as soon as you're done and you sit there and you realize we got to pack up the mats, we got to clean up, if you got any, say on the cafe, if you had clothing or whatever, stuff like that, stuff littered, you got to clean all that up. You got to copying and editing down your footage, at least copying your footage while you clean up that or taking the bath or going to sleep or whatever. You can let that back up overnight, that's fine. Or load to the cloud or whatever, however you do your editing, that's fine. But it is a drain that you just sit there, you're like, it's like after you play the game, and you're just sitting there and you're completely worn out. Like all you literally, I put it this way, you're so tired, you're too tired to even want to sleep. Like all you want to do is rest and sleep, but you're too tired to do that.
Mm,
So it's I've been there. The last 2 to 3 fights I've done was a drain like that. Like it was to the point to where maybe when I first started, okay, hey, we was able to get in, get out the same day, do everything I need to do. Now it was like to the point where I would book an extra night just so I can just go to sleep as soon as it's over, and then
mm,
wake up and then try to pack and do whatever else you got to do. Is especially if you're a one man band, one man operation, you're trying to do the lights, you're trying to do making sure the girls are ready, making sure. I mean, it just can be so much to where you wake up and when you're done, you're just done. You're spent. You're spent.
mm.
I've been there, Rodolfo, and for him to announce that, I took the cap. This is not for the weary, man. This is not for the weary because but the reward is working when you go back and you go into editing and you see stuff, especially like a lot of times it's hard to grasp everything live. There's some stuff you go back and look and say, oh my God, I got a great angle, a great shot of this. Or God forbid if it's something where you're like, shoot, I wish I would have got a better shot of this. But more often than not, especially when you a couple of matches in, you're better off and be like, hey, I got this right, I'm happy for it. But it's a dream. It's a dream.
Yep. So yeah, people. So there was that, and then Slap City had his own. He finally had a successful fight. It wasn't really much of. I won't say it was a cat fight. It was more of a combination of both. If you're a fan, I'll just say this: if you're a fan of kicks and slaps and all that stuff, there was a lot of that. Let's put it that way. There was a lot of it. It was Jessica Red and another girl named Amy. So two new people. I will say I ain't gonna tell you who won, but I will say that it lasted almost 20 minutes. It was 17 minutes. It did go 4 rounds. I'll say that. So
Mm.
think of that how you want.
Well, that's impressive. That's impressive, especially with newbies.
Yep.
Trying to get full on anything past 15 minutes, stamina, because if you're just not used to it,
Hmm.
so the fact that you got 17 out of it, that's impressive. That's impressive. Shouts out to Slap City. I know that he had somebody trying to fish
Yep.
him on his IG page, so
Yep.
things of that
Yep.
nature. So we'll
Yep.
pass that word along. One person I wanted to get in contact with, and I just didn't. I just ran out of time. Did we hear that Valor was she able to find anyone
I
to rep?
haven't talked. I haven't talked to her in a minute about that
Okay.
yet. I don't think. I don't think she has. Although
I'll
I
make
saw
sure.
her. I did see her do some kind of. Posted a pic of her working out. I saw that, but other than that,
Right.
I didn't.
I
I
will
don't
make
think.
sure for the next show on the 8th where we'll have that as far as our updates to see by now. Because at least by then, you would have had almost a whole month.
Yep.
Because we mentioned
Correct.
it the last show. So
Correct.
by the next show, we will have a full month that challenge has been out there. And let's see anybody accept it.
Yep. So yeah, and by the way, the two girls I talked to both of them on Twitter. Now that I'm actually following them and they're following me back, I asked both of them. One says they're in. One said they felt very good. I asked the other one a while ago how she's feeling. She like I need to train more. That would be Amy. She said I needed to train more. Obviously, it's your first fight, so and that's you know me. I always ask the number one question: how what did y'all learn in your first fight? You know me. I'm always asking that question. I took that from you. So yes. So one said I'm feeling good. She's looking forward to her match with the other one when she gets recovers from back surgery. If y'all got 5 people know who I'm talking about. And oh,
Yeah.
by the way, our friend Amy, she has another match. Another match has been announced by Slap City, and this time Amy versus Havoc is supposed to happen in August. When in August? We don't know, but it's gonna be in August.
Mm.
It
That's
was put
good.
on. It was announced 11 hours ago.
Okay. Now let me ask you this: how do you think we should approach them when it comes to the grade eight? Should it be a thing of we just keep it domestic like we do for now, or
Now I think it's time to add. I think it's time to add everybody now, man, because the domestic values you seeing what's happening in domestics right now. Nobody's
right?
doing anything. I know it's because, like you said, life happens and everything. But as you can see, there is absolutely nothing domestically
Because
happening.
when you got Mexican catfights, like I said, Mexican, that's across the border, and then across the pond,
Hmm.
at some point they have to be added in for consideration, especially if they're being true to the virtues of the game. I mean,
Correct.
now that opens up the Pandora's box. Then how do we judge organization like let's say IFW?
Yep.
Um, how do we judge somebody like say Fighting Dolls or Fighting
True.
Divas
True.
do it because it's like, yeah, those
Yeah. Let's
that would
yeah,
be
just keep
tough.
it. Yeah, let's just keep it as it is, man. Let's not go there.
Yeah, because we go there, that opens a box. Especially if it wasn't for with the last two that I just mentioned, and then you technically got APL out there, but we know APL is just is not
Nah,
what it used to
nah,
be. It's just
nah.
not. So, and not in the purest form of what it used to be. So, yeah, it's
Yeah,
because
let's keep it as
let's
such.
be honest. I like to take a stab at it. If you look at between FD and well, actually they're both FD, Fighting Divas and Fighting Dolls.
Yep.
With both Dolls and Divas, they're
Hmm.
both at a point where they're just run of the mill matches can put a lot of hours to shame. You know, don't even mention like something like Fox Combat. You know, they could put they can put a lot from the standpoint of the type of ladies that they have, the presentation,
Mm.
the skill level.
Yeah,
Like, I mean,
the skill level is high.
we know it's not full bore on, but for something that's not, they're really good at it. They're really so even there. Like I said, a run of the mill matches would give any of ours a run for the money. So it's one of those things. It's something about the rawness. Oh, there was Caddy Carolina one. I don't
Yep.
know if you
Yep.
Montgomery.
Yep.
I bought one of their fights. I still,
I bought
uh,
two of their fights actually, just to
yeah.
see.
So just to see, it has that original rawness of a like a it reminds me a little bit of SoCal, which we never rated any of theirs, like a Mary or something from
Do you
there.
still do you want to rate their stuff? We got
Well,
time.
it's it, and then again, it's kind of like let's be honest, and we're gonna call it space. If you look at like say Caddy Carolina, SoCal versus Fighting Dolls, Fighting Divas, which one is more closer? Which participants is more closer to being on the grade eight?
It's more like Caddy, what you call it, Caddy Carolina, and the other one,
Yeah, so that's
SoCal.
what that's
Definitely,
SoCal, and so that's what I'm saying. It's more like they're really closer to it more
they're
in
closer.
the pyramid in the pyramidness of it. So I mean, I wouldn't mind bringing. I don't know when the last time SoCal actually put out something, or
It's
there's
been
something.
like it feels like it's been like a year or 2 years since they put out anything.
Yeah, so maybe just for a meritor's sake, like Mary. I think there was one girl named Mary that would always
Yeah,
seem to be
yeah,
in on a lot of their fights, so she would definitely get a nod from me in that realm.
she would
Uh,
too. She would too. If they were to ever redo it, yes, she would be on the list. I wouldn't
yeah.
have a problem putting her on the
Um,
list.
And with the Caddy Carolina people, I just it seems like they're kind of round robin in it right now, where
They
everybody
are.
fighting
They are
everybody. So I would
exactly.
say with them, I would say whoever their champ is or whoever we kind of even though Yasmin, you know, says Samaria, is kind of the leader in the clubhouse because she's the one that kind of helped bring the name along.
According to her, I talked to her too. She
They
wants to
just
be called now. She doesn't want to be called Yasmin. I think she
that
wants to be
group.
called Samaria now. So okay, fine.
Yeah, you were breaking up, Clem.
Sorry,
Sound like you're in the matrix.
sorry, man. I know. Oh, I am breaking. Hello. Oops. Is it my line or yours? All right. Let me see what's going on with my line. 1 minute. Is it mine? Okay. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Yikes. Hello. Oh, hello. All right, ladies and gentlemen. I think my guy froze up. I thought it was my line, but it's not. We were in the middle of talking about a Cali, Carolina, and SoCal. So they're much closer to what we think it was in hindsight. So with that being said, I'm still carrying the conversation. Uh, he'll be back in a few minutes once we get that figured out. Like I said, there's not much to talk about. Like I said, coming through, we got Havoc versus, like I said, Amy. That should be a good one. Other fighting stuff in the future. Who knows? Uh, Let me see what else to talk about. Really, not much to talk about. Check out my room. It's nice. I'm in Texas. Nice. I have the wrong shirt on, but it's okay. It doesn't matter. So this is the guest room, as you can see. Show you a little bit of the beds over here. I'm sitting on the chair. Lotion over there. Cabinet over there. Bible on top. So if anybody wants to ask any questions, go ahead and ask your questions right now. We'll see if we can get them answered. But the breaking news is Lyric and or Sexy Wife are no longer catfighting. One because of legal issues, which I'm not going to get into, and the other one is due to an injury that she has not had surgery yet. There's been a lot of people asking on Twitter, asking them, asking me. So we just lost two people to the catfight industry. One of these days we'll sit down and have a conversation about what they did in this industry in their short time. We have other people coming in. We have FedCom happening in Florida. I think it's going to be August 11th through August 14th. Actually, it's actually starting right now. It's still, so probably a 2 week event that's happening in Florida with all the people who are in the fetish world that are doing all kinds of stuff from mixed wrestling matches to fetishes to all kind bondages and everything else. So it's kind of a cool thing. Uh, we're gonna keep it as such. Our great top eight list, we'll keep it domestically because it becomes a problem when it becomes internationally. So that's the situation with that one. Like I said, I'll give him a few minutes to see what's happening real quick. He'll jump back in. I'm going solo for a minute. Let's see what else can we talk about. What are your thoughts, people? What are your thoughts on the Catfight game as of right now? Is there anything that you would change in the Catfight game? Any rules, any stipulation, anything with safety? There was even a topic that came up between Jessica and someone else talking about how the fans want the fighters to, come in different places and to stay, like, have an edge to them after the fight. Which, for me, in my opinion, when the fight is over, the fight is over. The fight is over. You respect your opponent, and then you keep it moving. There's no need to be holding grudges, unless something happened illegally during a fight. So if it happens illegally during a fight, then so be it. But other than that, that will be settled for the next fight, and you keep it moving. The most important thing is safety. So if you're safe, it's a good thing. If you're in safety, it's a very, very good thing in general. Let me take my glasses off because I don't need them. 1 minute. Shoot. Yes, sir.
Hey, Clem.
Yep.
Hold on. I had to put.
Yep.
So something happened. The Wi-Fi here.
Yep.
Hello, can you see me?
Yeah, I can see you. It's gonna take a minute, but yeah, I can see you.
Yeah, yeah, but something happened with the Wi-Fi here, so thankfully the show was still moving, so it didn't stop. Yeah, but
Yep.
I
I kept it
just have to
moving.
do it on my phone.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. So you're doing it on your phone? All right then.
Yeah.
So basically, I pretty much said. So pretty much, we're on to the point where. Oh yeah, another thing that came up today on Twitter. Interesting enough. I ain't gonna bring it up on screen, but I think one of our fighters, which I think was Jessica, she was bringing up something about fighters going in, entering different doors before the match starts, and then talking about some of our fans don't understand how this works. When the fight is over with, you don't stay mad at your opponent. I don't understand, as you would call them, vidiots, as you called them. She was mentioning that in her post today, so it's interesting.
Who?
Uh, the lady I was telling you about, the previous fight that came up, the fight I told you about, Slap City. So she brought up something,
Oh, okay.
right? She had it
You
on her
said that.
post. Yeah, Jessica, I'm talking about. She had it on her post because she was addressing fans. How fans are acting silly when these matches are over with. Talking about people should be, the fighters should stay mad at each other or something like that. When the fight's over with, you respect your opponent and
Yeah.
you keep it moving. That's how I look
Right.
at it.
You
But
know,
these
it's like
idiots have
fear
no
no
common
one,
sense.
but respect everyone, fear nobody.
Exactly.
Mm.
It's utterly ridiculous that you have to bring it
Yeah.
up. This is something that should be understood. Like you said, fear no one, respect everyone, but fear no one.
Mm. Right.
So yeah. So like you said, this is you're right. This should be universally understood. I don't know what's going on, but yeah. So
Right.
I went on a rant. Well, I didn't really go on a rant. I went on more of a ramble because I had nothing much to talk about because there really is not much to talk about. So
Yeah.
right now,
But
at the
going back,
moment, people go ahead, go ahead.
but going back to the Cat of Carolina people, like I said again, I wouldn't mind giving them a shot. To see let their stuff work out and see whoever is their top fighter. I said we give them next 2 3 months, and then let's see
Yeah,
from the videos, and then that person will be on the list.
I agree. I agree with you. Like I said, I got both of her. I got both of Samaria's fights already. Two completely different fights. I'm not gonna tell you who won, but two completely different ones. Her first fight was
Hmm.
interesting because it was two new people. The second one was one new person, and then she was an experienced person, so that was interesting. I'll just leave it at that. The only problem I have with
Okay.
cat fights is I have no problem with no rules, but there's some things that you need to work out, man. You can't be having people do front chokes, man. That's just ridiculous. I know you saw the same thing I did. That's a
You
safety
said
thing.
with the front chokes.
Yes.
Um.
I don't have a
Yeah.
problem. I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem with rear chokes, but the front chokes are kind of dangerous, man. In my opinion.
Yeah. If you don't know what you're doing, yeah. So I mean,
Yeah.
if you're in the real, see the thing is how much, how many. My thing about it is how much stuff do we see in real life where people are actually trying to do front chokes.
Yeah. I got you, but I'm just saying
So
this
that's
is a little different. I hear you. I kind of hear
yeah.
you.
But when you see so many people doing it out on the street and
True.
knowing them now, whether they have the training or not, it goes back to realism. And now there was one of the fights. I want to say it looked like it was shot on the cell phone, which I don't.
It
You want to
was.
shoot your stuff,
It was. Ugh.
but it was like, hey, we had to start somewhere. So I've
True.
done it to where, oh, I had one fight where, oh my God, I was so bad at myself. I left the batteries for the camera
Oh,
for the DSLR I was shooting on. And
right.
I had no charger, no kind of like power line or nothing, and I had to
Uh-huh.
shoot on my cell phone. And this was back when, ooh, yeah, it was bad. It wasn't even an iPhone or was it even an Android? I don't know if it was even an Android. It was pretty bad. Like it was like 376 by 252.
Right.
It was bad. It was so bad. The match itself was good because I was like, look, the girls are here. Well, we'll just make the best of it. We shot it on the cell phone. And it was to
Right.
the point where it was like, even though the match, it was a good match, it wasn't great enough to stand out on its own. And I was just going to
Right.
do it as like either a giveaway or as a bonus content, whatever.
Right.
Just I still had to pay the girls the same rate because for that day, it was there for that day. But it was just, I had to take the loss on that because, like I said, I had batteries. I'm like, oh, I've never forgot them since. Never forgot them before, never forgot them since. So,
Right.
well,
It's interesting. So yeah, I agree with you. Let's give them a few. Let's give them like you said, three
yeah, yeah,
months to get it together, and let's see what
they're
it looks
new,
like.
yeah. Give them because you always because you look at the locale, you look at the setup. It's like, look, we're just trying to grab it and go, throw it out there, and it's not none of like SoCal because some of this stuff is like shot on cell phone, look like it's shot on cell phone. Too. Well, at
Yeah.
least the demo stuff is.
Yep.
But it's still one of those things where there's a rawness to it. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? That makes it exciting and exhilarating. But at the
Right.
same time, if the girls have just a little bit more seasoning, I'm not saying that they got to come out here and be Juliana Pena or nothing. We're not asking for that. But
No, no, no,
at
no, no.
least when
No, we're
you
not asking
like
for that at
have
all.
some polish, even when you look at somebody like a Reagan or a Tilly or a Lyric or a Valor, there's a polish to it that you know that it would just help, and maybe that just would be just um, In the case of something like Yasmin Samaria, when she got to fight for other outfits, she can see, she was like, oh, okay, there's levels to this.
Right,
And in that levels to this, you can sit up there and be like, all right, cool, I know what I can do next time. So,
right. Yeah, I agree with you because, like you said, it's like you said, it's looking like there's most of the shots are hotels, like you said, right? Like you said, they're
which
like
is
shooting
fine.
from hotels, which is okay because, like you said, it's
Which is
like they're on a
which that's
road,
been the
right?
industry. That's been the industry standard for
Yeah,
years.
I'm just
So
saying, I'm just giving them a chance. I'm not saying anything yet because
oh,
like you said, I'll wait till like you said 3 months in a 3 months time, then we can talk about where they're going.
right. Because now some people like even if you look at someone like Rodolfo, how he grew from his first production to now in such a relatively short time. Or even you look at somebody like Slap City, somebody who just come out the gate just
Yep.
springing out the gate. So it
Yeah.
just we all have to start with what we got, and then
Correct.
just going from there. Where do you go from there? So if you decide you want to keep it low budget, low rent from the whole time, or is it things like, hey, as we get more money in, I can get better cameras, I can get better lights, I can get better services, I can get better outfits for the it can just get that much more better.
I agree with you. I think low level, like you said, is probably a better way to start, right? Starting out first before you
You got to
start
start somewhere.
going. You gotta start
Yeah, you got to
somewhere.
start somewhere, and start with what you got. And that's the thing,
So
because if you look at any of this stuff that's on World Star and all that, that's what do you think it is? It's just that they got the girls to where they can start it and finish it without being interrupted. You know, that's you see what I'm saying? It's not rocket science. It's really not.
right. Yes, yes, yes. So yeah, that's yeah. So we'll see what happens in the catfight industry. Like you said, we're now in another dry period, as you put it. We're in another dry period, as you said. There's like one or
Hmm.
two. There's one or two just to catfight, just to keep us moving. But we're not kind of a dead period where we're the like the dog days of summer, as you put it, heading into the fall.
Um,
So things are
and I'm wondering about this fall because I think this fall will be dominated. If I'm gonna make a prediction, it's gonna be dominated by a bunch of newbies
I agree.
because
I totally agree with
you're
you.
gonna have this stretch where people are going to be trying to jockey for position until we get to Christmas, and then of course we have that winter dead period, like between Thanksgiving and Christmas. It's literally like those three shows. I think is our toughest three shows to do.
I
The two
agree.
in December and the two in December and the one around Thanksgiving,
Yep.
because it's like literally nothing at all, and nothing's even announced till you get to like January 1.
Yep.
And these Christmas and January 1 this year is on Sundays, so
Oh,
um,
yeah.
yeah, so they fall on Sundays this year. So
Yeah, that's
we'll
gonna be
see.
that's gonna be tough,
Yeah,
right? No lie, that's gonna be very
yeah.
difficult. Like you said, because you
So
said you said it. The 31st and the first is Saturday and Sunday. So, whew, yeah,
so fall on Sunday. So we'll see how it turns out. But yeah,
we'll see. But
that's
like I said,
another thing. On a side note, that's another thing about 2020 that hurts so much from a
yep,
scheduling standpoint.
correct,
2020 was like the perfect schedule when you look at all your major holidays because both Christmas and New Year's was going to be on Friday.
right,
Christmas and New Year's was going to be on Friday.
hmm
Um, Thanksgiving is always where it is, and all the other major holidays.
yep,
Valentine's was, I want to say Valentine's was on a Friday as well. I
I
want to
think
say
you're right.
Valentine's was supposed to be, I think Valentine's was supposed to be on a Friday. I mean, that it was so many things that were just sitting up perfect for it. It
Correct.
was sitting up, it was sitting up perfect for it. Like I
I
think
agree.
Valentine's was supposed to be on a Friday. Um, yeah, like all the major Easter
Easter is
was
also
like
on
a great
Sunday.
week. Right, but what I'm saying is the week of Easter. You know how like sometimes Easter can be early, like in March, like March 30th, 31st, or Easter can be as late as like April 19th or whatever.
Yep,
But Easter was at like a good. It was a good space in between when Easter was and then Mother's Day and then Father's Day. It was almost going to be like a 3 week back. Okay, you got 3 weeks, Mother's Day, 3 weeks. No, 4 weeks, 5 weeks, 5 weeks. Then you have Father's Day, and something like that. It was, yeah. So it had that kind of knack to it. Yeah, and then the fourth was on a Saturday, I think, or something like that.
I think so.
Um, yeah. So,
Yeah. Actually, the
um,
fourth was actually this year. The fourth was on a Monday. But you're talking
oh, the fourth
about
was on. Oh, that means the fourth would have been on a Friday too. The fourth would have been on a Friday too. So it would have been. That's what I'm saying, man. It was setting up to be 2020 when the pandemic hit. 2020 was setting up to be an organizer's dream.
it was. It
The
was.
fourth was going to be on a Friday. Christmas was going to be on a Friday. New Year's was going to be on a Friday. So if you think about it, we'll always make something tough like the day after Christmas or whatever is that everybody got to go to work the next day. But if it's on a Friday, you got that Saturday Sunday off.
Correct.
It just makes it that much more advantageous. So
Yeah, 2020 was
yep,
a organizer's dream. All right, you were right.
yep,
2021 was a not was I won't say 2021 was a nightmare, but it was decent. This year is just very difficult
mm-hmm.
because we're
Yep.
slowly
So
recovering out of this COVID thing, supposedly, or people are trying to, people are slowly opening back up, as you said. So that's another thing.
yeah. So New York has been open. Like I said, man, I enjoyed my trip there. I look forward to going back many more. So
I got people in New York, so one of these days I'm gonna go over there myself. One of these days, I got family members over there too. I got one in New Jersey too,
in the
so
city. Oh, in the city. Okay.
I
Yeah.
think I got one. I got one in the Bronx, which is Yankee. For people who don't
Okay.
know Yankee Stadium, so I got a few people who live a
Yep.
few blocks from there. So I got that. I think I got one in
Which
New
I've been
Jersey.
there.
You
I've
have
been
been there
there.
now.
So yeah.
How did it go? Since I'm on it.
The Yankees, man, it really was something else. I really enjoyed it. Seeing the sights and sounds, and then being able to do what I do. So I was able. I had to do a couple of hours for the game, but by the
Okay.
time the game time started, I say about maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours for the first pitch. I was already done. I was done, and I just got to basically sit there and enjoy the game. I got to see Judge hit a homer,
Yep.
capture that in super slow mo. That was great. So I did a time lapse of the crowd, seeing them fill up and show up late. But
It's
yeah,
New
but
York. Of
man,
course, it showed up late.
yeah, it was great. It was great. The worst part about the two worst things. There was two things that were worst things about the trip. Worst thing was the trip was about trying to get home or trying to get back to the hotel because the
Mm,
buses was running. Something that happened with the line to where it was running like an hour 20 minutes late.
wow, that is very
I,
late.
I don't know why, but it was running an hour 20. And I needed to take the bus that was going to take me back to Manhattan because there was a bus line because I was staying in Washington Heights that was taking me
Uh-huh.
straight to the stadium. I have to get
Gotcha.
off, nothing. It was literally ran by my hotel. Jump
Mm,
on that bus, but waiting for it to come back, it was almost like, oh, by the way, we forgot. Almost kind of thing. So that was several hours after the game. That was kind of troubling. One thing I really, really, really was disappointed. Went to the Yankee store, and my favorite Yankee was Mariano Rivera.
right.
And to be in that whole store, and there's not a single thing Rivera in it.
What?
There's stuff,
Wow.
there's stuff on Jeter, there's stuff with Ruth, there's stuff with Maris, there's stuff with Mantle.
Wow.
Um, Now, granted, there's no Alex Rodriguez stuff either, but there was no Mariano. I don't know if a lot of that had to do with because of Mariano running 42 and now 42 is retired among all
Yep.
the leagues, but I would have
Possibly.
thought they would at least made an exception for Mariano since he was supposed to be the last 42.
Correct.
Um, I just, yeah, that kind of rubbed me the wrong way. That Mariano, that there was literally nothing I could buy in the store with him on it. That was the most disappointing because he was my favorite game. He was the one that made me like, oh, okay, with the Yankees. My dad was a big Reggie Jackson guy,
Right.
things of that nature. But I grew up watching Paul O'Neill and
Hmm.
and all Bernie Williams and Gerald Williams and Don Mattingly and all of that. I got to watch all those guys play.
Right.
But Mariano was that one, this the Hannah God pitch, man. You know, is that cutter and just
Yep.
can't hit it.
Yeah.
Can I hit that? And so
Yep.
with Mariano, that was the one that kind of I was disappointed. I did find some stuff in the stadium, like some signs and stuff, pictures and stuff like that. But the fact that I couldn't buy a keepsake because nothing with Mariano printed on it, I was more disappointed, and especially somebody who's in the Hall of Fame. I'm like, he's your Hall of
Exactly.
Famer. He's that I can get nothing in the
Yeah,
store,
exactly.
nothing.
I agree with you.
Oh,
That is
come
disappointing.
on.
Right?
I
You're
can get
exactly
Judah
right.
stuff. I can get. I mean, I was asking. I'm like, and they were like, "Yeah, we know." But I'm like, I can't get a hat. See, my first Yankees hat, ironically, the first I'm talking about like the classic 39, 59, 50. The
Uh-huh.
first Yankees hat I bought was when Mariano broke the Trevor Hoffman got the 601
Yep.
when he got the saves record. They did a special edition New York Yankees hat where on the side patch was Mariano breaking the record.
Yep.
And I kept that hat till that hat literally fell apart.
Mm.
And if I know now what I know then, I should have bought two. One to keep the never wear and one that I wore. I wore that hat like literally every day. And with the Mariano patch. And so I always wish there was a way I could have got another version of that or whatever,
Mm.
but they didn't make another one. So um, yeah, but the Mariano one, that was the one I was most disappointed of. But other than that, man, it was a great time, great experience, or whatever. So Long Island, that was great. Got to go out there, see the countryside, things of that nature. So it was good. It was good. I really enjoyed myself. The dance scene was there was amazing. Great leads, great follows out there. I see why New York. The thing about New York is everything's amplified. So
Mm-hmm.
unlike other places where if you go Latin dancing, okay, they'll rotate among some salsa, merengue, bachata, kazomba, zouk,
Rumba.
reggaeton, dance hall, rumba, samba.
Yep.
There, you can go in the club and all they're playing is like central bachata from start to finish, or traditional bachata, or Cuban salsa
Yep.
from start to finish. Like me, me Caliente Kitchen. It was like one of the places. Yeah, that's all they got.
Like, come
You
on, man.
have Club Iguana. No, I mean it was good. It's just that so
I know
instead of
after a
me
while you just
getting
get
that
tired of it.
nice little mix, we get it.
Yeah.
Well, what you do is you just club hop, and because
Exactly.
there's like most of this, and is in roughly 25-mile radius,
Mm.
inside. You got all these different parts. All right, go here for 2 hours, boom, leave. The nights, And with some of this stuff, like they'll have day festivals or outdoor festivals, like the Lincoln Center had a little outdoor thing, and things of that nature. So, which is more community friendly, I would
Cool.
say,
All right.
because you get more age, a greater range of ages doing it, and ethnic groups and people coming together. And so that's what I really liked about it because like some of these stuff, man, like how most places I've been here in the South and whatever, hey, they're going to do the dancing from 10 to 2, and they're going to stretch it maybe 9 to 2. Man, they got places that will start 6:30. They be like, let's go. They're
Right.
not even waiting until it get dark. We starting at 6:30. So that's what I'm saying. You can go somewhere 6:30 to 8, leave there, boom, go 15 minutes on the train, jump, go to another place, be there from 8 to 10, boom, go jump on the train, and then 10:30, 10:45, 11 o'clock to 1, and then from there, 1, 2 o'clock till it closed. And then you got the after hour spot. Man, there was spots that were popping up when I was leaving. I'm like, wait a minute, what? Oh yeah, man, they go until like 6 in the morning. I'm like, what? Yeah, man, they don't open till 3. I'm like,
For people who don't know, New
so
York is a city that don't never sleep. Not Las Vegas, New
yeah,
York.
so
They do not sleep.
yeah, so
Period.
I mean, but you just got to know where to go. You just got to know.
Like the man
So
said,
you have a
New York's
couple
a
of
place. New
guys
York's a
who,
place where it's like 5 o'clock in the morning and someone's still walking the streets. It's New
yeah,
York.
yeah, yeah.
That's New York right there.
Yeah. So that's why I was like, it was kind of. I'm like, okay, cool, you know. Yeah. So I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it very much, very much. Looking
Uh,
forward to my next
yeah.
trip.
Anything else before we wrap up already? Because I don't even know how we got 40 minutes out of this video, but we did.
Well, we made it there, but nope, nope,
All
nope.
right. With
That's
that being
all.
said,
Um,
social time, social time, social times. I'm gonna give him time to get it
um,
together. I'll stall
well,
for a
I
few
don't think I'm
seconds.
gonna be able to get it because like I said,
Okay,
I'm on the.
don't worry about it. Let's just do it.
So
We all
we'll
know they
just
know
have
what
to
it is.
send.
Yeah, you don't have to pull it up. We know what it is. Anyways, I'll just go ahead with my socials. They know what the fans know what it is already. If you watch the show long enough, you should know our socials by now. We say it every 2 weeks for heaven's sakes. So Clem Okufo 3000 on Instagram, Clem Okufo on Twitter. That's it.
Yeah, and Close Swim on IG and Twitter.
And with that being said, another edition of the Clem and Claw Show in the books. As everybody knows, 2 weeks from now, which for people who don't know, that will be August the 8th. Yes, people, it'll be August already. The next time we get back on this.
It'd be technically three. Well, no. Yeah, it is two. Yeah, it's 2 weeks. Because
Second,
wait a
second,
minute.
second and fourth month of every second and fourth month of every
That's right,
thing.
right, right,
Because remember,
right. So
August is 5 months.
August
Five.
has five.
August has
August
five.
has five. So
So August
so
8th.
that the gap will be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's August 8th and August 22nd. And my math is right. I have to
Yes,
look on
August
my
8th
phone.
and August 22nd.
So yeah. So hopefully on August 8th we'll have more stuff to say. Maybe. Maybe. But
Yeah.
other than that, for the parts unknown, for my partner Klaus Webb, my name is Clement Okufo. Have a good night, everyone. Peace.
Peace.
From the parts
Peace.
unknown. Yes, sir. Peace.